This episode of the Paddy Wagon is brought to you by Momitu. Momitu helps you discover great and often underserved movies and TV shows. Some of the best films you've never heard of are out there waiting to be enjoyed. Don't let the algorithms and big budgets tell you what's up next. Momitu has over 10,000 hand-curated titles, all free, all the time. Momitu, more for me and you. Hey everybody, pull up a seat. I have just topped off my glass. Why don't you grab your favorite beverage and join me? This is the Paddy Wagon. Today on the Paddy Wagon, folks, our guest has a story that takes us from the bustle of city life to the wide open prairies of rural Saskatchewan. That is a fun thing to say, rural Saskatchewan. At just 20-something, she left behind a city of nearly 160,000 people for a teaching job in Liberty, a small town of about 400. What followed was a 15-year journey of becoming not only a teacher and a mom, but also a rancher and farmer. Her memoir, which was released August 26th, captures the transition in a raw, unfiltered, and often comedic way, which is why she will be great on this show. Tackles everything from infertility struggles, heartbreak of losing a student, to the chaos of wildlife invasions and the challenges of carving out a life in a world so different from the one she knew. Please welcome Lenore Focht, here to share her story of resilience, humor, and transformation. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. It's nice to be here.
I tried to do my best, awesome introduction voice. I hope it worked for you.
Yes, it was very, very good.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was.
You never know what you get with me. I just was like, you know what? This is how I'm going to read this. I think it sounds really good. So
it was very moving, almost like a lyrical poem.
It is. It is. I'm the songbird of my generation, as they say. So welcome to the show. Absolutely. And thank you so much for coming on. It's been a while. And I will let everyone know this because I'm an asshole. We were trying to get you on before your book came out, and life happens and things happen, as you know, and it happened here, and there's delays. And, listen, I got out invites to try to get people on the show, and it was just like an overwhelming response. There's just so much to do is for a one-person show. And so for that, I apologize. I really wish we would have timed it better, but that's not you. That's me. Like I said, I'm an ass, but I'm so thankful that you come onto the show and we're here today. So I greatly appreciate you.
Well, thank you for having me. And you know what? This is great because it'll just keep the sales going, right?
There you go. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So now I'm going to bring this up. Normally my next question is, what are you drinking? Which I know you folks. So, I knew the answer was going to be, you're going to be drinking something. All right. But you told me that you're a part-time rancher. And there is no such fucking thing as a part-time rancher. So what are you talking about? I need you to explain what it is you're trying to say.
You're absolutely right.
Part-time my ass.
Oh, absolutely. There is nothing harder than that gig, and it is every day, and it is a grind. But it is not our sole jobs. It's not our sole income. I am a teacher full-time, and my husband owns a company. So it is the busiest, craziest side gig to throw into our life. Because why not, right?
Yeah, your side gig is your home. In a way, do you know what I mean? There's always, you can't get away from that side gig. This is a side gig for me. This is fun. I can choose when I do this and when I don't. And you don't really have that luxury, do you?
No, absolutely not. But my husband is so ingenious. He really is resourceful. And so we have these 40 acres of land, and he goes, well, we might as well do something with it. And he has a rule that if you're not making him money, you don't belong on the ranch. And that's where we've evolved to now. And so he's like, we might as well use the land. Well, I just leave it here.
So originally the plan then wasn't rancher/farmer. It was like, hey, there's a chunk of land here and we're just going to move. Right.
Yeah.
And then it kind of morphed.
Here's a beautiful acreage. And I mean, it was an acreage when we bought it, but saying that, my closest neighbor is a mile away. It's still 40 acres. It's not like an acreage outside of a suburban area, which is, a little acre of land. It legitimately is 40 acres on the river. And so, yeah, you have it. You might as well use it, I guess.
Hell yes. Love it.
But in saying that, ranching is something that the kids are able to do. It started as chores for them. It started as a way to build in a work ethic. And now it's sort of evolved. My husband hates people. He's like, when I retire from my company and sell it, I'm just going to work with cattle all day. And so, okay, here we go.
You know what? They can be dickheads too.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
yes.
stubborn,
We were supposed to. Oh, we were supposed to get one this morning. This is where we're at. We bought our daughter a cow for her birthday because we're like, she wants one. And then every year when it produces a calf, more money, right? Like it's the gift that keeps on giving. Okay. So we were supposed to load this thing up this morning, but if our operation is ranchy, that one was even ranchier. Like it had no chutes. It was just kind of chaotic. And so it was an asshole, and it will be coming home next week when we're better prepared.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, my question is this. I thought that there was some sort of like a separation of church and state, right? You were buying a cow as a pet? It's like, yes, this is my cow, Mom. I want a cow. What's the lifespan of a cow? Let's start with that, because now I'm curious.
They can breed up to 12 to 15 years, I believe. But the older they get, the least likely it is. So if we get this thing and every year it has a calf, then we're doing not too bad.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
And
so it's a yearling, which means that it'll be able to be bred next year.
Okay. So I'm not a rancher. So I have a couple questions.
Okay.
First one. So you've got a cow and it's going to breed cows, obviously. I was a biologist. I don't know if you knew that from that statement. So a cow gives birth to cows. Is it possible that the calf, right? Stop me if I say anything wrong. So a cow has a...
So when they're born, they're calves.
Calves.
And then the females are heifers. And so that's what we're getting actually is a heifer.
Okay.
And it will be able to be bred. And once it has its baby, it's a cow.
Okay. So the question then is, what is it giving birth to? Does it depend on, like, well, if it's a female, it's going to be milk, or it's going to be beef, or it's going to be kind of a stud, if that's maybe the right terminology? Like, how do you determine, or does the breed of the mom determine what the cow will be?
It will be either a female or a male. If it's a female, it will be a heifer, and we'll sell it or keep it, depending on what it looks like.
So no milk from that?
No milk. We have no milk cows. No.
Okay.
We have Angus, and this one's a Highland, because that's what my daughter had always wanted, is one of these Highland cows.
Big hairy ass fucking things?
Yes. Look, there's a picture.
Look at...
I'm in her room right
shit.
now.
Nice.
Because my husband's office is a dumpster fire. So I'm like, where can I go to record this? My daughter's room.
Look at that. I knew.
She always wanted one of these. So we have an Angus bull. They're the right size. They can breed. It won't be unhealthy for the mom, or it won't be harmful for the mom.
Okay. Yeah, that was something I never knew. I never knew, like, what if there's certain cows for milk and so on. So that's interesting.
Yeah, there's milk cows and there's beef cows. Ours are all beef. We keep a handful every year to sort of restock the herd. But now it's tough because we have two bulls. And so then you get into the genetics game. Which bull is the dad? How do you keep them separate? Making sure that it's fine. And none of ours are registered.
Okay. You let just some wild ass breeding. It'd be like you got a bunch of cows from Temu, fucking eyes crossed, a bunch of goofy ass looking animals. I would not be a good rancher. I'd be like, can you make this one do it with that one and see what it turns out like?
That's why I teach English, because all of this, the genetics, I'm like,
God. Well, that would be a lot. That's a learning curve right there. You don't just pick that up after a couple weeks.
And I have to say that I may be saying some of this wrong, because as I said, like, we're new to ranching. We are learning this. My husband is really the one that's doing most of this. So if any of your listeners are like, she is wrong, sorry, my bad, working on it.
I know of at least one who will listen and not only correct you when you're wrong, because that's the type of asshole this guy is. I won't give his name, but you know him. And I also will be called out on, the terminology that I use, which is wrong. He's going to, really, dude, you didn't know heifer? You didn't know what a heifer was? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I never lived on a ranch. So we're both going to get called out. But the thing is we will have somebody to fact check, which is good. So I'm happy about that. So, but yes. So my next question, which is normally the first one I ask, is you gave me a laundry list of alcohols, which is why I knew we would be great friends. What are you having today?
I am having gin with some sparkling water. I was going to have red wine, but I left the bottle at my mom's, and in town there is no store open on Sundays, so no booze for me. So I had to go with gin, and we had a German exchange student a few years ago, and she came to visit us this summer, and they brought us like the best gin I have ever had. I have no idea what is in it. I did not know Germans were known for gin making, but
you stole my next line. I had no idea that Germans and gin went together. Yeah. So what is the name? Yeah. What is the brand? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. I left the bottle upstairs.
Something you can pronounce or no?
Yeah, probably not. No.
Okay. All right. I love gin. So,
it's
do you
so
have?
good.
If you didn't have that bottle, would you have a favorite type?
Empress is my favorite, and I don't know if you have it in the States. I think it's Canadian. It's a purple gin, so it's like fun to drink too.
Okay. Like, very cool. Nice.
It's colorful. Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like some Canadian beverages myself. I don't have one, but I like the JP Weiser. JP Weiser.
Yes. That's what
my
they
jam.
sell at our rider games.
Yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, your dear brother, who I know, is got me onto that. So that's a nice one. So
it is. It's delicious. My husband drinks 40 Creek whiskey, and that is also Canadian, and it's delicious.
I'll have to try that. Is that only up there as well?
I think so.
Write that one down. 40 Creek.
Yeah, 40 Creek. Very good.
Okay. All right. We'll write that down. We'll look into that one. I'd like to have a bit of that. All right. I'm having whiskey myself. I was going to make an old fashioned. I didn't know what to do. I was going to try to match you, and I just said, you know what? I'm just going to pour something. So I poured some 2 times oak, which was a very nice gift for someone that stopped by the house. It is fantastic. It's, I want to say about 95 proof, super smooth, very good. I was expecting a little more bite to it, but really flavorful. Like I said, it doesn't have that wow, like that one that puckers you, but it's really tasty. So cheers to you. Thank you so much for joining me with a beverage. So yeah, pleasure. But so let's get started here. So it sounds like you've had plenty of reasons. Like I thought about this question, and I'm like, I already know the answer to this, but what kind of really inspired you to write this memoir, and kind of maybe when did it start, or when did you know like the time's now?
I didn't really know. It was sort of forced upon me. I always wrote growing up, and when we had kids, I started to do this. It's like a mom thing where you write a Christmas letter, you put it in the Christmas card. Oh, this is what my family did all year. And it was always a hit because I'm very honest, and I'm like, these kids are ridiculous. Listen to this story. And I would lay it all out there, like the super embarrassing things that the kids did and I did. And it always got a lot of hits. Everyone was like, you should write a book. And then I ended up having back surgery a few years ago. And I'm thinking, if I'm ever going to do it, now's the time. I'm laid up for 6 months. There's zero excuse.
Yep.
Like, it's time to figure it out. And so I started writing. And around that time, I knew that I wanted to write about what it was like to move here. Because the person I was before I moved to this place in this small town is nowhere near who I am now. Like, it was a complete evolution. I don't even recognize that person anymore. But I needed an end point. And so when the event happened to Dylan, the student in the book, it was a really easy way to end it. And I sort of knew then the plan, and then it was easy to sit and start writing.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I love it. And you know, I think some people rush something. Some people do things when the time's not right. And I've referenced this a million times, probably a few times on the show, but it's like smoking. Hey, smoking's bad for you. You should quit smoking. And it's like, you're not going to do it when somebody else tells you to do it. It has to hit you and go, no, now's the time. Drinking, smoking, whatever. You have to know when the time is right. And the fact is writing a book, that's a journey in and of itself, as you know. I think a lot of people probably make the mistake of starting it too early. And then when you go back and you look, you're maybe not as proud as you would be. If it's just like the timing's got to be perfect. So, you know, I'm glad you were kind of able to do it.
Yeah.
It just lined up.
I realized that I needed a purpose to write it. Like I needed something to connect it all. And the fact of the matter is, I didn't truly understand what a small town was about until it happened with Dylan, and I was able to see everyone sort of come together and understand what drew people here. Because honestly, there were times when I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing? Like, this is not what my life plan was. Why am I still here? And that was a moment where I'm like, no, this is where I am meant to be. This is why. So
yeah, it's like Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you everyone, and I teach my kids that. It's like, I understand what you think life is supposed to be, and I understand that you think life is going to go a certain way, and I'm here to tell you now that it is very unlikely that things are going to play out exactly as you think they are. So you better be able to pivot, you better be able to adjust, and you better be tough, because life does not give a fuck about what your plans are. It truly does not. And then you get to look back and say, I made the best of this opportunity at this time, and there was this roadblock. There was a fork in the road. It said, fuck it. I went straight through that bitch. Yeah. So, I like that.
Well, even how I ended up out here, I was only supposed to be a 6-month mat leave contract, maternity leave in Canada, we call it. And I hated subbing in the city. It just wasn't for me. And so I come out here, and then 6 months turned into 20 years now. I've been here in the same school with the same things. And I'm like, I had no intention to ever leave Regina. It was not in the cards. And look at it now. I'll never go back.
I say Regina. Is it Regina?
It is Regina. I didn't want to correct you. I felt bad. It is Regina.
No, please. I don't know why. It's Regina. Maybe it is Regina. Why did I say Regina?
I don't know.
The fuck is wrong with me? I know it's Regina.
Yeah.
What an idiot. Like,
it's been on Jimmy Fallon. Even Jimmy Fallon has.
I know it's Regina. What am I thinking?
He played like that clip, Experience Regina.
You know what it is? Truthfully, I had this girl that I worked with a long time ago. I used to do recruiting, and this is like this is like a psychological thing that was buried deep in my head, because I know your brother. I know it's Regina. And this girl that I worked with, we did real estate recruiting, and we had apartment complexes that we were hiring property managers for. And it was in Regina. And she's like, it's pronounced Regina. And I was like, I think you're wrong. She goes, nobody would name something that rhymes with vagina. And I remember that. And that just popped into my head. And I'm saying Regina. And I said it. When I said it, it kind of flickered a little bit. And I was like, that didn't sound right. And then, no, please correct me. This whole time, correct me. Stop. And that's going to be one I wish I would edit it out. But, like yourself, I don't edit anything. Leave all life's mistakes in there for everyone to hear. Out there. So there you go. Awesome. So what would you say biggest culture shock was, right? Because Regina, not the biggest city, but when you live there and that's what it's big, right? So about 160,000. And then now just 400 people, where maybe not likely, but realistically you could know everybody.
Oh, yeah. Like,
right?
We have moments where we walk down the street now and go, who are these people? I've never seen them before.
Who are these folks?
But when I first moved, it was definitely that nothing is available 24/7. And it sounds so funny. And I mean, I know I just got caught without wine for this exact reason, but I remember running out of toilet paper and having to go into the school and steal some, because like nothing is open to get toilet paper. And you're like, that's a basic necessity. How did you not figure that out? And
yeah, so you would run to like the open 24-hour store, whatever it is.
In Regina.
You go. Yeah. Okay.
But out
and they don't have any of that.
No, 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. That's it.
Little general store type thing?
Yeah. Well, we have a co-op. Yes.
You say that again? What do you have?
A co-op.
What is that?
So it's like a cooperative. You pay $5 membership, and then it's like a community-owned store building.
Oh, okay.
And so they have a manager and they have workers, and then at the end of the year, you get dividends for spending money in the co-op.
Oh shit! I never knew they. I know co-op, but I didn't know it was did that with stores.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Awesome.
Well, and now it's our liquor stores. Like, you go to our co-op and you get diesel, propane, gas, vegetables, booze, everything.
Oh shit! You boots and liquor at the same place. Booze! I thought you said boots.
Well, I mean, there's also the odd piece of clothing, maybe.
See, That's the Canadian you. You said booze and I heard boots, and then you're going to say a boot in a little bit.
Maybe.
What are you talking about?
I'll throw in some A's. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Love it. Love it. So you go, right? So teacher, you go there, teacher.
Yeah.
All right. And now we become ranchers. And that's, like I said, wasn't the game plan, but that's where we're at. What is, and I'll say is, I was going to say was the hardest part. What is the hardest part of that? All kind of going, I'm really doing this. This is where I'm at right now in life.
Yeah. Just how challenging it all is. Every day, something else goes wrong. Like, without a doubt. This summer, we had it rained like an inch in 10 minutes. And so we had water in our basement. We also had water in our basement because my daughter left the faucet running outside, watering the flowers, right? And we've had our entire water system blow up in the house, which is why it's no longer in the house. Like, if I tell you how many times my house is flooded because we live on the ranch, it would blow your mind. I've had orange water. I've had water that's dyed every piece of clothing, my hair, like the water alone. Trying to have water that's clear and doesn't smell is amazing. The process every day. And so the little things that you take for granted just don't come that easily. And that's what is amazing to me.
So I'll say this, I'm from Western Pennsylvania, and I know orange water. And is our orange water the same as yours, which would be caused by some sort of mine runoff? Is it like a rust?
Yeah, it's rust.
Okay.
So we have web cribbing in our dugout, which is like we get our water from the lake, it goes into the dugout, and then it goes through the filtration system. Okay. And there's so much organic matter in the water that when I first moved out here, I had these gorgeous yellow blonde streaks in my hair, right? Awesome. And they were like bright orange. This kid at school was like, it looks like Ronald McDonald. And it did. It was atrocious. And my husband's like, oh, look at that stripper hair. Like, could you imagine that? I'm like, no, this is not the look I'm going for right now.
I'm your new teacher, Mystique.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
It's like flaming red.
Oh, shit. No. Well, here's a question. Maybe somebody doesn't want to hear this story. What type of trouble does a child who floods a basement get into?
Oh, you know what? She's pretty good. And so her punishment was just the cleanup. And that's a lot. Like, to rip apart the floors and take it all out and deal with that. That was it. It was an honest mistake. But teenagers and phones.
We all make them.
Yeah.
Did you say teenagers and phones?
Yeah, because I'm sure that's what she was doing. She's filling up the watering can and forgets it on because, she's on her phone.
Well, that's, listen, that's life on the ranch. Hey, we made a mistake. Something's wrong. We got to fix it. And you're going to be the one to fix it. Here's a bucket. Eat shit. Have fun. Let me know when you're done.
Absolutely.
Do it right the first time.
Absolutely. That is it.
Yeah.
But
do it right the first time.
The water's hard, but snowstorms, right? I remember having kids, and John used to work on the road. And so I'd be home alone and I'm sitting there. I'd be plowing snow while they're sitting there watching like 101 Dalmatians, and every pass I'd go in and peek to make sure they're still alive, because there is no one to come and get you. You have to use your own equipment. Something as simple as getting to work, you're at the mercy of yourself because no one's coming to get you and dig you out. And so
I love it.
How daily life can be so challenging was what got me right away.
Good. Now, did it get you, now looking back, you like the person you are? Not that you didn't before, but it's like, did it teach you things that you're like, you know what, I'm glad that I struggled with that, or I'm glad that shitty situation happened? Because
absolutely. There's that sense of resiliency. Like, no one is going to bail me out of this. No one is going to fix this. I have got to stand on my own 2 feet and do this. And in saying that, we have incredible neighbors, and I wrote about many of them in the book, where it would be like, because my husband did work a 2 and 2 shift. So he'd be up north for 2 weeks, and he worked with my brother, and then I would be at home for 2 weeks by myself. Well, I mean, if any number of things happened, I was calling someone to come and, there's skunks in the barn. Will you come and shoot them? I remember the day my grandpa said that to me. I said, Grandpa, this raccoon has his treat. The dogs have it. And he goes, well, go out and shoot it. I said, Grandpa, I can't. I'm not a good shot. He's like, yeah, you're right. You'll probably kill your dogs. So I'm like, well, what do I do? Right? And so he said to me, grab a steak from the freezer, throw it outside, and maybe it'll come down and eat the steak. I think the dogs are going to eat the steak, first of all. And second of all, I have no money. Like, I am 26. We just bought this. I have no idea.
I'm not wasting a steak on this fucking animal.
I don't even know if I had a steak in the freezer. I probably had like a slab of bologna or something. I don't know. But
oh, man. Well, I've got a raccoon story for you. Friend moved into a house, had this outdoor little shed thing. And he goes, we got a big-ass raccoon in there. And I think she's rabid. I said, okay, let me look. And I opened the door, and first off, this bitch was huge. Like, I have never in my life seen a raccoon this big. This thing was the size of some dogs. It was massive. And so, here's what do you do? I said, well, I mean, you kill it. It's just kind of something you have to do. He goes, well, I'm not going to do it. I said, I mean, I'll do it. I don't give a shit. I've done it before. It's, I hunt. I'm a big hunter. I don't do it because you like shooting animals. You do it because, I'm always wanting it's a conservation thing. And there's a skill to it, and it feeds you. And so there's a million reasons. Now, I don't eat raccoon, but I said, okay, this is a nuisance. I'll get rid of it for you. So he had an air rifle, and this guy never sights anything in. So I did it for him. I did a quick little sight in, and I said, that's close enough. So I get down, I get a piece of cardboard, I lay down, I flip my hat around backwards to where I look like some badass sniper, and this thing is just hanging out in this little shed thing, and I brain her. Like, it is one shot. Like, I know I don't miss. And I'm like, so this is going to be... So, ladies, you two, go over there. Everyone go over. You don't want to see what's going to happen. So I do it, and it was perfect shot, instantly dead. And I'm going to go... I said, give me a cardboard box. I'll get rid of it. We'll throw it over the hill. Nature will take its course. It'll feed something else. Everybody wins. Well, she wasn't rabid. The reason she wasn't moving was because she just gave birth. So as I walked in and picked up Mama, I realized there were about 8 raccoons that were probably no more than a day old. So I was then tasked with what was next, which was where you question whether you're a monster or not. And so I said, well,
this is a baby.
These things are going to die because of what I just did. And I didn't regret what I did. I based off of the information I had, I did it. So I then had to go have a quick sip of whiskey because I wasn't planning on doing those things today. And I had to get rid of 8 baby raccoons, one shot at a time. And the last one was a little bugger. She just kept going.
Scampered away.
After every shot, she just kept crying. And it was like the cow from fucking Me, Myself, and Irene was in the middle of the street shooting the cow and it won't die. It was like the same thing. And they were like, you're a fucking monster. And I was like, I had to do it.
Had no choice.
I know you didn't like it. It was starve or this. I hated every second of it, but it was the right thing to do. So, that's a little life thing. So I'm glad that you had what you had one too.
We've had our share of badgers, raccoons, skunks out here. And I mean, skunks are gross because they stink, but
they're always
a badger
gross.
and a raccoon, they are going to take down my dogs. They could potentially kill them. And so we're going to end them. And it's unfortunate and you don't want to do it, but
how's your shot nowadays?
My dogs more than them. Oh, I still don't shoot things. I'm still a big baby. I did. I left the city, but I'm always worried I'm going to miss. And then what do you do with it after? Like, I tell this story in my book about I had a prairie chicken that I ran over. I chopped its head off with the lawnmower, but it was still flapping. And I did not know that you actually,
really
like a chicken runs around with its head cut off. So I go, oh my God, this thing, I just harmed it. What am I going to do? So I called our rancher buddy, Jesse, and he's the best neighbor ever. And I'm like, hey, how do I kill something that's not dead that I want to kill? Sorry. How do I end its life? And he said, well, pick up the biggest rock you can find, carry it down, and just drop it on its head. Shmush. Because he's like, well, I shoot it. No. Chop its head off. No. Like, and so I carry this big rock down there, and then all I see is this decapitated body. And I'm like, fuck. Now I got to carry it back up to the house.
Only a rancher. No, I don't even know if a rancher would understand the sentence that you just said because it's so good. It was like you were in Game of Thrones. You're like, how do I kill something that's dead but not really dead? It's like, well, you need dragon glass. You've got to get this. Like, that was the best way to describe killing a chicken because there's a reason that saying exists, which is a chicken with its head cut off. And that is a real fucking thing. And their heads will sit there and their beaks go.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I remember when I first moved out here and I saw my first tumbleweed and I'm like, oh, these aren't just in Westerns. Like, they really exist. What the hell?
I saw one. I was blown away. I was like, that's fucking real? I thought it was just some thing. What is it?
I think it's just like dead bush and brush that gets picked up.
From the wind just picks up and goes.
And it just keeps collecting more and more, like a big old nasty dust bunny that just gathers more. It's gross.
God. What's the biggest one that you've ever seen? Like, did they get pretty big?
My car has taken one out. Probably like 3 feet round. Huge.
Wow. Holy hell.
And then when you have a big windstorm up here, because of course we're on the prairies, so there's nothing. It's flat. Like, it legit is, you can see a dog run away for 3 days.
Yeah, there's nothing to break the wind
except for like the fences that keep the cows in, and so you'll see them just lining the fences and just caught in the barbed wire, and it's kind of crazy.
I'm gonna invite myself up. All right, this is where we're at in this relationship.
Yes,
I'm gonna invite myself up. I'm gonna work the ranch for a week.
So good.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be fun. And then we get to drink
when
too.
We process, when we brand, those are fun.
Okay, I'm in. What time of the year is that?
Well, we calve in April. We calve on grass because we don't do it on snow. So June is usually our branding.
Why not? Just curious. You calve on grass. Why not snow? Not that I would know the difference, but just curious.
Because it's easier on the moms, and it's also better for the calves if they were to drop
not be dropped in a fucking
not be dropped in an ice storm, in 3 feet of snow, in winter storms. Yeah. So you tend to have an easier time.
I was so fucking warm, and then here I am, just like ice bath.
And it's true.
Sense.
Like, we often joke that if there's a change in pressure, then the moms will start having their babies. It's like they know, and it's the weirdest thing. Last year we had a spring storm in April, 18 inches of no, not quite that much. I guess 6 inches. I was trying to make it really exciting there, I guess.
I like that version. Let's go 18 inches.
18 inches for sure. But a good, 3 to 6 inches of heavy, wet snow. And all of a sudden we had 8 calves that day. They just dropped as fast as we could get down and pick them up. And you take them in a sled in the barn. You hope to warm them up in time. And so doing it in May and June is probably the easiest way to make sure they're safe.
Wow. It's a lot. And it's like nature just happens. I love that 8 drop in one day. You're like, well, that was a busy fucking Saturday. Or was it a Tuesday? It was fucking Tuesday.
So when this one came out, it was frozen and almost dead. And so then John brings it up. He puts it in like the tub, and it's supposed to warm up, right? The jacuzzi tub, all the jets are on it to warm it up slowly. And then the kids blow dry it, and then it warms up. So they did that, and then they leave it in the front porch until it's ready. Craps all over the front porch, like these big runny things. That's how we know it's alive then. So it gets to go back out to its mom. The next day I'm cleaning out the bathtub, because again, hay everywhere, right? And my son looks at me and goes, Mom, it's worth it to save a life, a little bit of mess. And he goes, and besides, think of all the money from that thing.
How old at the time that statement came out of his mouth?
9.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's fantastic.
He's quite smart.
That's a great way to look at things. It's worth it to save a life.
Absolutely.
And
a little bit of cleaning
money
to save a life and make lots of money.
I love it. It's the 2 most important things, right? Oh shit. Well, okay. So I have a question for you here.
Okay.
And so if we've picked up on the fact that I know your brother. Okay.
Yes.
Great guy, good friend, love him dearly, and the way this kind of came to be is he goes, listen, my sister's writing a book. I said, oh, that's awesome. I said, dude, I would love to have her on the podcast. Do you think she'd do it? And he's like, absolutely. I said, okay. And just knowing him over, wow, geez, I'm going to be wrong on this one. I feel like probably 10 plus years at this point that I've known him, and he's such a good guy, and we've never met in person. You and me and him, we were in Vegas together, but I feel like I know so much about your family. And so he has shared stories with me, and some of those stories were kind of about ranch life. And so, he let me know, he said, hey, if, tons of animals there, but if you ever were going to be an animal, he said, you don't want to be a dog at her ranch. Yeah. And he said, don't fucking bring it up. And so because he's your brother and he said, I felt like he was kind of saying, bring it up. So can you elaborate? Because I am in fact an asshole. I'm kind of curious what me not being a dog has to do with this conversation. So I figured I'll just ask you, you know best.
Yeah. Well, we love our dogs so much. Like, I can't even explain how much we love them. They're part of the family. But we've had some rough times out here. We've had some bad luck. We've lost quite a few of them. And again, it just goes back
Can I
to
pause
this
real
is what
quick?
ranch life is like. Yeah.
Can I pause? I want to ask, so are these considered, because I think this maybe helps the story a little bit. Like, I know that ranchers, farmers, you view animals differently than like I do. I have 2 Shelties. These Shelties are in my house. They're not dogs that are out living in a barn or in a shed or outside. Like, there's pets and then there's the animals that we have on the farm.
Yeah.
Like, what are these dogs to you?
Oh, these should be
Little bit of
outside
both?
dogs all the time,
Okay.
but they are inside dogs because we are big babies and we love them.
Gotcha. So these are pets.
Yeah, if you've rolled in
Okay.
something dead, you don't get to come in the house until you're done stinking. If you have rolled in crap, you're not coming in until you're done stinking. But otherwise, and you're never allowed on the furniture. Those are the rules for the dogs.
Did we just become best fucking friends? Because apparently I don't know the rules of no dogs on the furniture in this house. There's dogs everywhere, and I don't like it. And for
I
my
hate
wife
it.
that listens, I want you to know that I don't like it.
Well,
Carry
most
on, my
kids
friend.
Yeah, because I have allergies and my husband loves dogs and you need dogs out here. And I also can't bear to leave them outside. So yeah, they just can't be on the furniture. So our lab, she actually sleeps underneath my son's bottom bunk, on his bottom bunk. It's like her
nice.
bed. She gets mad if you take it from her.
Okay.
And yeah, they come in every night. So that being said, though, we've had some tragedies. Some have gotten old. Some have, hit the genetic dislottery, if you will. They've been inbred and unlucky. We've had some farm accidents, and it has all taught the kids a lot of lessons, I guess.
Okay. Anything you care to share, or leave it at that?
Well, there is a couple that you can't even believe. Like, they're laughable, but not really laughable. We
Okay.
have our businesses ran out of our yard. So we had an employee run over a day old puppy. Seriously. So this was Rooster 1. And it was
Rooster. Wait, hold on. The dog's name was Rooster 1?
Well, no, it was Rooster. But
It was
the
Rooster
first
at the time. Okay.
And then we're like,
We didn't know there was
this
gonna be a
thing only
second
lived
Rooster at this time.
So the next time we get a dog, we'll call it Rooster. Because, like, there's got to be a time frame on a dog's name, I think. Right?
I
It was
agree.
a good dog name. I really liked it. Very Top Gun inspired. So I'm like,
He was
shit,
a
I didn't
wonderful
want to
dog
lose
for that
this good
day.
name. Yeah, so a day in,
man.
it unfortunately got ran over by this employee. So then we made this rule, no employees up at the house, which is fine. And then Rooster 2 had a very good life of only 3 years, but he had like a cancerous tumor. We did not know.
Oh, God.
One morning we wake up and we found him like dead. It had exploded. It was a hematoma, something. I don't know.
Where was the tumor
And then
at?
we had, pardon?
Well, you said it exploded?
Yeah, like he bled out.
Oh,
Inside,
man.
internal. It was awful.
Jeez. Ugh.
And then we had Goose 1. And Goose 1 we picked up on a Friday. And by Sunday it was dead because it had a throat infection. Like, I can't make this shit up. And so
I'm so sorry I'm laughing.
home,
It's like fucking
and these
sounds like
kids
you're
are like,
making it up.
oh my God. And these are all Burmese mountain dogs, which are beautiful, incredible
they
ranch
are.
dogs and family dogs. They're wonderful.
They're
And so-
big, right?
Oh, huge.
They're the big
like-
ones. I mix those in the Yugoslavian mountain dogs. Have you ever seen a Yugoslavian mountain dog?
No. I haven't.
Wow. They are massive. Yes.
I think Rooster was definitely 150. I don't know how you weigh him because he didn't.
You
But-
hold it and then you get on a scale and then you set that thing down and go, wow, that's a heavy fucking dog.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible. And
Yeah.
we had a Newfoundland. He was one of the best. Oh, sorry. I got to finish my Goose story. So Goose 1 died of this throat infection
Yes.
24 hours into having him. So we currently are on Goose 2. He's thriving and doing well. We're like, I hope this one lasts for a while.
At this point, Goose 2 as well. Did you think maybe naming a dog Goose was not great?
Well, we tried to call it Iceman for a while. And then I'm like, it just wasn't an Iceman. I don't know. It's a goose.
Oh, shit.
Yes. So I love the Burmese
wow.
mountain dogs. They're the
Wow,
best.
yeah, they're really pretty dogs. So yeah, that kind of introduces the kids to life. Like, right, like we talked about, is that we don't get to choose everything. And there's sometimes life sucks. Like it really does.
Yeah, absolutely.
How was that for them? Because I imagine it wasn't good.
The puppies were hard, but not as hard as like Rooster, who'd been around for 3 years, and he was the best. He would give them hugs and he would crawl up on them. And even though he wasn't allowed on furniture, he didn't like to follow that rule. So that one was tough, but it taught them that expect the unexpected, that life will throw you curveballs, and you have to appreciate the time you have with the people you have while you have it, because they might not be here. We had no idea he was sick that night. And then the next morning, it was just a disintegration so fast. We're like, no idea. And so that's heartbreaking for them. But they understand that you're only guaranteed a limited amount of time. And whatever time you have, you make the best of it.
Yep.
And then other times, like our first lab that we had, that was Scout. And we had her, she was 12 years old. So she lived a good long life. And she had diabetes. And then at the end, we just had to put her down. She was suffering so badly. And so they even learned that lesson, that you can keep something alive, but it's for you. It is not what's good for them. At times, ending something is the most compassionate thing to do. And so we see that. We had a calf last year that was born premature. It was struggling. I mean, we bagged it. We gave it colostrum. We did all the things to try and keep it alive. But at one point, the kids looked at us and said, like, Dad, this isn't right anymore. So they know that to make something suffer for you is only for you. Yeah. Those are good lessons to learn.
It is. Because I knew somebody that her mom like kept this dog alive. To say that the dog should have died 2 years before this is an understatement. This dog I thought was dead the first time I showed up at her house. And it was like, no, that dog's alive. And they were like, if you look at it, it's shaking. And I said, is that fucking real? Like I felt like I was like being punked. And she would just take the dog out. It was so frail. She would hold it with one hand and it would piss and shit. And then she would just bring it back and just lay it in the spot and feed it. And it was so disgusting. I said, this dog should be dead. Why is this dog alive? It's like, my mom just can't. I said, well, there's can't and should and isn't. Yeah. And like, that dog does not need to be alive. This is brutal to be around. Like, how is this healthy for anybody? And, looking back, maybe that wasn't the best thing. We'll just leave it at that. But
absolutely. I am.
I agree. And then also it's life. It's life, I just recently had a conversation about the guy, Dr. Kevorkian. I just had a conversation with my son, and I was like trying to explain what this guy did. And he's like, is that wrong or right? I said, I don't know. I said, it feels right, but other people felt it was wrong. I said, it's I guess debatable when it's a person, but you don't ever want to see somebody sick and suffer. And it's really sad to see people or animals go out like that. So, certainly a good life lesson on the ranch, because where there's one, there's going to be many more after that, right?
Absolutely. And they learn that this will happen and you have to keep going. I mean, the next day you still go to school, and yes, you're going to grieve, but this is what it's like, the circle of life, right? Cycle of life, whatever. Yeah.
So you mentioned comedic. I'd love to get on that. Let's stop talking about all this shit. Yeah. But comedic, heartbreaking, obviously, dealing with stuff like this. How do you balance that when you're writing a book? Like, how does that work with your creative process?
Well, I think in order to be to have the best book it possibly had, it had to be honest. And the honesty is all of it. And it has to be real, and it has to be sad and happy and funny and all the things that life are. And so I just started writing all of it. And for every sick, twisted thing that happens out here, there's got to be a moment of humor in it. And so when we had our German exchange student, we still have this dog. It likes to attack cats. And she was not used to this, and she really loved these cats. And so she got really, really upset when this poor cat met its end, and she's breaking down.
Wait, did the dog killed the cat?
Yeah, in front of her.
Shit.
She's like not used to it, and it was pretty awful. But then the aftermath of it, like the comedy of my daughter chucking it into the burn barrel, and then her falling apart, and my son's meanwhile is banging on the door while she's having this really emotional fit in the bathroom, is like, I have to get ready for my shower. Like, hurry up. And she's nine. She is in the middle of it. She is suffering because she saw this poor cat lose its life in front of. And my one daughter couldn't care less. She sends me this text like, so-and-so's really sad and crying in the bathroom, gonna go shower. Everything's fine. And I'm like that's not just the text.
How old was the kid?
16.
Oh yeah, that's rough. Yeah, but again, that's her story.
Yeah.
And now that helps her with life moving forward.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's fucking brutal.
So out of this really bad experience, I'm like, oh, it was hilarious watching little man like bang on the door. He's holding himself because he's trying not to pee. And I have to go to bed.
God.
I have to go to bed. She says, like, someone needs to get out of the bathroom.
These fucking Canadians, they don't care about their pets. This dog killed a cat. I want to go home. Oh, shit.
It was a lot.
You've got skunks, raccoons, badgers. I've never seen a badger.
They're wild.
Yeah, that much I know. Any memorable battles that you've had with wildlife that you won't forget?
Definitely. Well, we had bats in our house, and not once, but twice, and not one bat, but like 3. And so that was a battle because it was a lot. So we had a garage, and the garage was so small I couldn't even park like my S10 in there or whatever vehicle I had at the time.
I love the way you say garage. Say it again. It's my favorite. Your brother. No. Say it.
Garage.
The garage. The garage.
Garage.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So we decided to close it in. That's where we were going to put my husband's office. Great. So we seal it all up. And the next morning, well, I guess it had been closed up for about a week. And all of a sudden, my husband wakes me up. He goes, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go outside and do some yard work. By the way, we had a bat on the kitchen windowsill. Just so you know, I threw it outside. Like, okay, that's new.
How did one catch a bat?
Well, because it's daytime and it does not like to be out in daytime. He seriously like wrapped it up with a towel and like, poof, let it go into the wild. So I'm thinking, okay, this is fine. That night, we're laying in bed, watching TV. He's asleep. And all of a sudden, this bat comes flying from above the TV, swoops over my head into the closet. I wake him up, freaking out. And I yell, bat, bat. And I cover my head with the blanket because I am scared. And he runs out of the room like a little bitch and shuts the door and like traps me in the room with the bat.
Fuck you, fend for yourself.
No. So I get out of bed. And meanwhile, like I fall in a tray of brownies that I had eaten and left beside the bed, as one does.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Brownies all over my underwear and my nightshirt. Race out of the room. Send him back in there like, I am not fucking going back in there until you take care of this. And I lock him in there and he like smushed it, found it, smushed it with his hand, called her a day, right? Throws it outside.
That's sick.
Sick. Yeah, it's life. So then
are you sure there were brownies that were in your underwear you mentioned? Because you sound scared. They may not have been scared, brownies.
But I sat on the brownies, on the tray of brownies as I was getting out of the bed.
We'll stick with that one. We'll stick with that story.
Sure. So then the next night, we got an exterminator. We said, hey, we need to know if there's bats. He looks around. He goes, no, I can see no guano on the outside. No trace of them coming in. I guess you can see their oil or whatever. He goes, not a problem. So he says to me, you're fine now. Okay. That night, our oldest comes into the room. She goes, Mom, there's a bat in the room. And I'm like, no, the exterminator said there's no more bats. Go back to bed. You just want to cuddle. Not going to happen. So she goes back to bed. And then the next night, I find the bat hanging on like her party dress, her cute little tulle party dress. And I'm like, oh my God, I just left my kid in a room last night with this bat circling her head. Like,
that poor fucking kid.
I know, like CPS is going to come one day. So he grabs this one again, smush, done. So then there were no more bats after that. We had taken care of that until COVID 2020. There is a register missing on the side of the house, right? One of those vent ducts. And I'm like, we have nothing but time. Literally, right now, the entire world is shut down. Could we put the cover on to keep things out of the dryer bin? No, it's fine. I'll get it next time I go city. Blah, blah, blah. He left it so long. We found this bat. It was like hiding behind all my plants on the window. And this time, he just beat the shit out of it with a paintbrush. And that was the last bat.
Now, let me ask you this.
And then I'm like, you're going to go out there and you're going to stuff that dryer vent full of towels for however long. And he's like, well, we're also going to burn down our house and carbon monoxide, blah, blah, blah. Then every time we need to use it, you're going to go and pull it out.
Yeah, you're like, at least there won't be bats. Like, can we just settle on that? Like, we'll burn it to the ground, but there will be no bats.
There's nothing scarier than that.
Is your husband like me where it's like, yeah, I'll get to it?
Oh, yeah.
And then
like we have this Skylight calendar app. And so I've gone so far. So like, he has to do this list before he can go to bed. This list before we'll have sex again. This list before he gets to go out drinking with his buddies. And, usually it never gets done. So it's an empty threat.
There's a sex list. I have nag notes. That's literally, my wife has a notepad that says nag notes. It says it on it. And it's like urgent, get to like, you just, all these different things. And I'm just fucking leave a note. Because if you sit there and tell me I'm an asshole and an idiot and I listen to 1 out of every 20 words that come out of your mouth. End of fucking story. I'm just being honest the way you are honest, Lenore. So just write a fucking note. It'll get done.
Yeah, we usually have like one big
This has to be done before we have sex again? Are you for real?
Yes. I gotta make the consequence big enough that he'll do some shit.
Holy shit.
I know.
My goodness. You could get everything done with that.
I know. So what's really awkward is that's how the list is labeled in this calendar. And of course, my daughter has access to it, as does the whole family. And she's like, Mom, can you believe this? Like, she was just offended that that's what I'd named the list. But I don't know, figure it out.
I love that your kids see that shit. That is the best. Daddy took the garbage out. Guess what's happening tonight, kids? Wow.
We're going to put a sock on the door. Don't come in.
Oh, my God. Yeah, my wife, so a lady that used to work for her had this cabin in a county in Pennsylvania called Elk County. And their biggest herd of elk east of the Mississippi is about 3 hours from our house. So you go out there, you see the elk. It's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. And so they have this cabin in the woods, and it is a cabin in the woods. Like, there's no running water. There's a wood burning stove. You're shitting in a bucket, like, or you're going outside. There's an outhouse. Like, it's like that level of camping, which is fine for me. I don't care. I like to be outside, but a little different from my wife. And we were sitting there, and it was a hunting cabin. So you've got the antlers and you've got everything. And at one point I was in the kitchen and I was just kind of checking out everything on the wall. And I looked and I said, I'm almost certain that's a bat. Because they were like, if it was warmer, you'd have to worry about snakes. There's some copperheads. You might have a, rattler in there, but you'll hear it. And I'm like, fuck that. They're like, no, don't worry. It's fine this time of year. But I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, it's midnight. We are probably drunk. We are definitely stoned. It's like, if I tell my wife there's a bat on the wall of this place, this night gets bad. But they don't move. Do you know what I mean? Like, they stay there and they don't move. And I'm like, I think it's real. And that's all I kept telling myself. So I kind of walked up real close and I looked and I'm like, I'm almost positive it's real. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a picture. So I took a picture and then I don't pray, but I tell you what, when there's a bat about 10 feet from me, I pray. And I did. And when I got up in the morning, that thing wasn't there. And I said, that shit was real. And then it was after we left where I was like, hey, I wanted to show you a picture. This was on the wall next to where you were fucking sleeping. I didn't know. You son of a bitch. You didn't tell me that. It was awful. The entire night, I just laid there like with the covers on me. And it just like, I'm going to be attacked, and you assume it's a vampire. You assume it's going to bite you. But I don't like things that you're going to laugh at me. Please don't. I don't like butterflies. Oh, I don't like, I know that's weird. I don't like anything that can move so erratically. Like a bird just flies straight, but a butterfly just flutters and bats move like that. I just don't like anything that it's so unpredictable in its movements that I just let everyone listening know I'm the biggest pussy ever for being scared of butterflies. So there.
The rabies scare me. Like,
that too. Yeah, rabies.
See Old Yeller, and I'm like, I just left my kid to maybe get eaten by a bat. Like, God.
My goodness.
Do you want to hear my funniest animal story though? I don't know if you're ready for this one.
Is it funnier than the dogs?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
What involves our dog? So the cat killer, right? Trainer lab to be a cat killer as well. So
they were in cahoots with each other?
They were. Well, the
like
first one we rescued from a community. She was skin and bones. And so we understood her killing whatever she could to eat, right? It was like a survival thing. But the lab just turned into an asshole because it saw the other one doing it. So we know it was the lab. It killed this cat. And there's this old ranching tale, rumor, I don't know what you want to call it, that if a dog kills cats, you tie the dead cat to its collar and let it run around with this dead cat as long as you can possibly stand, because as it decomposes, the dog will be like, I want nothing to do with cats ever again, and it will no longer kill. So we did this because we're like, well, we can't have 2 cat killers and we need to stop this carnage now. And so this dog had it on. It was about a week in, and so it's gross, right? It's nasty.
Is this an indoor dog at this time?
No, it's outdoor strictly.
Okay, good. That's good.
Until the cat is off of it, which also hurts them too because they want to come in the house and play. And you're like, no, I'm going to boot you if you come near me right now. So the bus has it's normal September. We're going to do a bus drill, an emergency fake drill. We're going to drive to the end of the road. We're going to stop. All the kids are going to get off the bus as if there's an emergency and then get back on. But our lab, who really, really loves kids, see the bus stop and goes running down with like the dead cat flapping behind it, flopping. And all of these kids are standing outside. And here's the dog looking for pets with this dead cat. And they're all traumatized and screaming.
Decomposing, stinky, shitty dead cat, right?
Yeah. Again, I'm like, this is it.
God.
Now I am going to have, the conservation officers here. Ooh.
So my question for you, did you ever find out if that's a legit thing you do?
Oh, yeah. Like all the farmers around
so
here
you
are
confirm
like, this is
that's...
what you do.
Oh, my God.
And you know what? I think it worked. She has not touched another one since. Maybe.
Holy fuck. Oh, my God. That's so brutal. Like, the
Isn't it gross?
Smell of that after a while.
Oh, okay, and this is disgusting too, but because it dragged for so long, it developed like a callus. So you could hear it like scraping along the gravel as it was pulled. That's horrible.
My God.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, I like that. Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that. I've heard of little things like that you do to get, kids smoke cigarettes, stuff them in a closet, make them smoke a pack. They'll never smoke again. But apparently tying a dead cat. I feel like a dog would get rid of the cat. How did you tie? What kind of fucking knots?
I don't know what my husband did, but he, around the cat and then twine and.
Holy shit.
He was a Boy Scout. That's how we met, actually. So.
I know you're all into scouts. I was going to say, that's why I said you got a good knot there because, I'd give it one overhand and I'd be like, fuck it. If the cat falls off, it falls off. Like, I'm not dealing with that.
I don't touch the dead things here. That is strictly my husband's job, or the oldest. She doesn't care. She's accustomed to it. But me, no.
Wow. You are.
I actually, when the chicken died on the lawn that day, I cut around it. And so then my husband
is that the one you dropped the rock on?
Yeah. He's like, what is this? And I'm like, well, if I ran over it, it would like, no, I'm not going to do that. So.
Yeah. you're definitely, you've experienced a lot in your time as a rancher, and I'm sure you'll have plenty of more like stories that will follow, as will the rest of the family. I'm going to say this. I look forward to reading your book. And so would like to start with, I would love an autographed copy. So we'll need to figure out how we're going to do that, because I could buy the book and that's no fun, but I'm going to buy the book, but I want to figure out how we do it. So I would love, because I've said this to folks, I've got a kind of a studio idea that I'm going to do. And so eventually kind of move the desk and have things behind me that I would love to have on display. So every episode people get to see the things that of the guest I've had on, but your book would definitely be one of them, but it's got to be autographed. So we'll have to figure that out. We'll figure that out offline.
Well, when you come up here to like work the cows, there you go.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. That's perfect. I love that. Yeah. Is your brother going to help?
Mm-hmm.
Is he? Okay. Does he help?
No.
An asshole.
He'll go down if he comes up, but it's not really his jam, which is okay.
That's fine. We'll make it his jam.
Yeah. He'll come.
I want to birth something.
You want to see something being born?
Like I want to rip it out.
Pull it out.
Like this cow's got an umbilical cord around its neck. Like that's where I come in.
Yeah.
Does that happen?
Yes, it does.
It does.
We have never had to pull one yet. I hear it's quite gross. That's like when it gets stuck and you go in there with the chains and like.
Okay, maybe that isn't my jam.
It's pretty gross.
Oh God.
But you start watching them and you learn those things over time, like what they look like when they're going to drop a calf, how long it should take, and yeah, I don't know if I really like it. My son did see one being born. This was a funny story. And he's sitting in the side by side with my husband, and so the baby comes out and it's in the sack, right? And then the mom like eats it and then
does she bite it and open it if it doesn't break?
If
like
it's
how did
not
that get
open,
out?
yeah, she did. And so my son's watching all this and he goes, "Oh, what is that?" My husband goes, "Well, that's the calf, right? It was just born." He goes, "In that bag?" He goes, "Yeah."
The bag.
So like, did mom eat my bag when I was born? Like, no.
Well, some people do. They make some food out of it. That is a great question to ask. Did mom do that to me?
Yeah. But I guess he sees something being born. He has no idea. I think he actually asked first, was I born in a sack? And yes, you technically are, but no, I did not eat you.
You should have tried to convince him he was in an egg and see how long you could convince this, like a full-grown fucking man, be like, no, not me. I was different. I was hatched.
Yeah, I was born in an egg. Like I picked my way out with my nails.
Oh, that's, yeah, that thing. And you see videos of that where an animal's, you can't get used to that. Seeing whether it's a human or any animal just in that sack is just
gross.
It's cool because it's raw, and then at the same time it is fucking nasty. Like that is nasty. Yeah. And you're on a ranch and you're still grossed out by it. I love it.
I am, because you'll watch them, like they'll eat the placenta afterwards, and it's gross. It's not nice.
Yeah, that's not good. Well, you're one of the things I mentioned, being excited about your book is I appreciate your honesty, and I think one of the kind of a couple of the things you brought up in your notes to me, it's kind of personal to me as well. But you mentioned infertility struggles, you mentioned postpartum in your book, and I'm speaking from our experience here. But I think one of the things that I've seen in people is that they want other people that when they experience that to know that you're not alone, and that you're not the only one, and it's okay to be sad and it's okay to feel the feels, but that somebody's here, somebody's experienced this. Like, what would you say you would hope if some of your readers of your book have experienced something, like what would you want them to take away from your story?
Oh, that exact statement, that you're not alone, because you're fed so many lies. You look at social media, for example, and right when I started to have kids is when there was such an advent of it, and you were seeing everyone's life on full display, and you would see these people getting pregnant and you didn't realize it took them time, if ever. And so I remember thinking, oh, I want to have a baby. It should just happen. And then a year progresses and it gets longer. And all of a sudden you're dealing with the reality of testing and seeing if there's something wrong and who's wrong. Is it him? Is it me? And you're just given that you are going to be able to have a baby. And that's not how life actually is.
Yeah.
And then once you have the baby, there's all these stupid commercials that make it look peaceful and wonderful and it sleeps and you swaddle it. And mine was not. She had colic. Like I'm sure my brother has talked about it. She was awful. Nobody would want to hold her or take care of her because she just scream and scream and scream. And my husband was on the road, and there is no one is honest about that. Yeah. Those are the things that they just don't tell you.
Yeah. So. And I appreciate that. I've been an open book. Like I tell stories that like people were like, you shouldn't tell that to people. And I'm like, why not? It's fucking real. That's like, I rarely cut shit out of this podcast. It's like, I said it and I stand by what I said. Yeah. And especially when you bring up social media, childbirth, marriage, raising kids, people are so fucking fake with everything because sometimes, again, go back to a saying, the truth hurts. And we all have struggles, but I think people were so closed off to the idea of showing a vulnerable side that it's like, well, I'd rather be fake. And that does affect people. It does hurt people when they see that. I mean, it's not well, I guess that's a funny story, but like I had this girl that like I was dating, and long story short, I don't know if I liked her so much, but I couldn't perform. And and that happened once. And then the second time it happened again because I couldn't stop thinking about the first time. And when I called her for the next date, she was like, hey, fucking limp dick, I'm not going out with you. And all her friends laughed. I heard there must have been a sorority house of women in the background laughing at me. And I tell that story and people are like, why do you tell that fucking story? That is so brutal, dude. Lie or don't tell it at all. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care.
This is what
It's
life's like.
fucking honest. And you tell me it hasn't happened to you, you're a liar too. And it's just like, I refuse to do that. Like I just, and especially with something like that, it's a struggle. And we have dealt with that with, postpartum's a big deal. It really is. It's hard enough to get pregnant. Somebody getting pregnant, it's a true miracle. Like if you want to use the word miracle to see just what actually has to happen in the human body, you are a 1 in a million chance. Every person on this earth is a 1 in a million. And you look it up and you will know that that is an accurate statement. It is a miracle that anyone is ever even born. But like the postpartum stuff, like that's real. And like I tell, like, man, just be there. Just you're not going to know what you need to do. And it's never going to seem like it's the right thing, but just be there. Because every experience, like from your standpoint, and I'm not going to speak on your behalf. If I'm wrong, stop me, but you don't know how you're going to feel from 1 minute to the next. And the emotions and the hormones and everything is so all over the place that, like I said, I just think going to the book and knowing the things that you talk about, I think it's very helpful for people. I think it's very honest and raw, and I look forward to reading it. And just the vulnerability, like I said, it's a lot of fake. It's refreshing in a way, and just to put yourself out there like that.
When you write it, you have to write it as honest as it is, and to understand how hard it was to not be able to get pregnant, you have to talk about trying to get pregnant. And so I know I was at a family wedding and a family member is like, oh, I can't believe you wrote that. Very judgy, and like, you know, so-and-so would be rolling over in the grave. They'd be so offended by this. And I'm like, what, offended by the honesty? By the fact that at one point I was so tired of having sex because it was a job. And obviously I wasn't being able to be a mom. Like, why is that a problem?
What's the part that's offensive?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's the part that I'm missing.
Maybe
I'm
that
like,
I am not, immaculate conception, I guess.
oh,
I guess
what's wrong with
them.
you? My goodness.
Again,
everyone's so perfect.
Talk about the idea of postpartum and how hard it was. And that, I mean, I love my family and my family is incredible. But there are certain people out of the immediate family, extended family, that were like, head down, go through it, and just never talk about it and bury that shit deep down inside. And it hasn't worked out well. So we're going to let the cat out of the
that's
bag.
advice somebody gave you?
Oh, yeah.
It's like literally verbatim, like just bury it and never talk about it?
Yeah. Don't you feel like that was sort of the 90s in general? Like when I was growing up, it was definitely, and certainly in that extended family sense, like you didn't talk about the things.
That's like way old school. That's like men don't cry type shit. Like you don't do that. And I've always been an emotional person, and I'm okay with that. I wholeheartedly disagree with that thought process, regardless of what it's for. You don't bury anything.
I do too.
You don't bury a fucking thing.
We're going to put it all out there, because if I'm feeling this way, and I remember going to Santa pictures with my daughter, and I'm thinking at the end of it, we're all sitting in the car crying because she cried through all of Santa pictures. And I'm sitting here thinking I have nothing to put up. Her first Christmas is ruined. It's a tragedy. Like I can't even get her to smile for a picture. She was 2 months old. Like I was barely hanging on by a thread. Yeah. Why am I sitting here worrying about a Santa picture? I should
what?
be like,
Put that fucking
happy that I
picture
can
up.
have a Santa picture. Yeah. And so it's funny because a few years later I had a Christmas card and our friend took the pictures, and the toddler, who's our middle child at that time, is like pulling on my husband's hair, yanking it out of his head. And the other one's running around. There's a dead snake somewhere, like a dog, someone stepped in dog shit. And I'm like, this is the best ever.
Yeah.
Because that is what real life is like. Family is messy and it's dirty and kids are hard and you're going to think you fail and you're going to lose your shit, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're there.
Yeah.
And the other thing I really wanted to do was pay homage to my husband, because through it all, he was the one that's like, okay, you're not okay. We've got to do this, this, and this, and the driving force. And even infertility, like we talk about it like it's hard on me, but I remember him having to go and get the tests. And he's like, here I am, like spanking it in the bathroom of a public hospital, because if I go to my car, I'm
by
get
the
arrested.
way, because you can't use lube.
Yes.
Right? You're dry dogging
there's
it.
Nothing
fucking,
someone's banging on the door. And then he's like, and then I have to go and give the sample to the hottest blonde I've ever fucking seen.
Always.
Like,
always. Here, take this warm specimen, woman. Oh,
like,
God.
we think we have it bad, but you guys do too. And so rarely are the husbands talked about in any of that. So
that's a nice thing of you to say.
Getting on the honest bandwagon.
Yeah. And you know, your husband sounds like a good man. And it's, like I said, it's tough. And I remember I didn't bottle things in, but you just don't know what to do. I just don't. I would remember going, what is my role in this? And it was like, I don't believe in comparative suffering. Like, everyone can deal with their own thing on their own time. But I just remember being lost, going, I can make this person laugh. I can hug this person. I can kiss this person. I can make this person something. I can do all these things that made us fall in love, but I can't do the thing that this person needs me to do the most. And it was very hard for me to try to find that right thing. And I guess the right thing was me just trying to do the right thing and knowing that I'm here if you need me. You're just going to have to tell me what it is you need. And if you don't know what you need and you want to punch me in the fucking face, like, just do that too. Like, that's okay. But I think it's very hard for everybody, but I think it's, again, you're not the only person out there, and there's other people that have gone through this. And, you know, I think bottling things up and never talking about it takes away your opportunity to help somebody else. And so, I appreciate honesty anymore. In a world full of shit, I love honesty. So, and to be able to tell your story like that, I think it's tough, but I think it's therapeutic to be honest, which I'm sure you've found out through the writing process. Mm-hmm. How long did it take you to write your book?
8 months.
8 months.
Yeah.
That's a lot of writing.
Yeah, it is. I would sit there every day and I'd be like, okay, I have to write this much by this time, or I set limits. I'm a rule follower. And so that's how it worked. And right now I'm writing another one, and it's very much the same. Like, okay, Sunday is mom's time to write. You don't leave her alone. And I have always been that person that's like, if you have to do something, you do it, you find the time. And if you're not going to, then it's not important enough for you. Yeah.
So. Yeah. Something else that you mentioned in the book, or like I said, I just make it clear I didn't read the book yet. It's just like I said, like, I read it, I was reading
it. Okay,
you
mentioned to me. Your signed copy.
Yes, I'm getting my signed copy. But losing a student, suicide is that's a very real thing, and I think a lot of the times this would never happen to me. How does that shape you as a teacher? Because I already know where it gave you a sense of community, right? And the way you kind of mentioned, this is why I'm here. But as a person, as a human being, as a teacher, like, how do you deal with that? Like, how does that change you?
Oh, well, it changed me, I think, more as a teacher than I thought at the time. In the book, it's only one chapter, but the beauty of living here is that it is so long that we get to spend with these kids. Like, I literally start teaching some of them as early as grade 5. Sometimes it's grade 7. I am now teaching kids that I taught when I first moved here. And so in the book, it's a chapter, but he was part of our life for 5 years, and he was quite ingrained in our life. He worked for us. My husband would take him hunting. He would be the guy that we're like, oh, we're not home for the weekend. Will you go check on the dogs? Will you go into the house? And so he became part of our family. And then, as I talk about in the book, he actually ended up moving in with us because he had some family drama, which is why there is a pen name used. He had some things that he just had to hide from. But how do you hide in a small town?
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, when he ended up taking his own life, it rocked us all, because he'd been in the house and the kids were in the house, and he'd stayed in our basement, and it was hard. So I think now as a teacher, I'm more closed off, and that's sad, because you would literally do anything for these kids because they become like family. When you've taught them for that long, you feel like they're your own. And now I just don't have it in me to lose another one like that again. So I think I'm a little more reserved, maybe that way. But I also know better the signs of mental health, and a lot of the things that I did wrong or my husband did wrong, or not wrong, because we can't have any guilt for it.
Hindsight kills you on that one.
We did the best we could at the time with the knowledge we had, and I think you said that earlier today. But now, far sooner is there help and a stronger push for help, and more on the ball.
Yeah. And I think you tie that back to don't bury shit. You can talk. Yeah. There's so many people out there. I saw a sweatshirt recently and it just said, hey person behind me, the world is a better place with you in it. Love the person in front of you. And I like that. Cause it's simple. And that little thing right there could change somebody and give them hope. And it seems cheesy, but at the same time, maybe it isn't. And I'm bad with hindsight. It's like, what could I have done different in that situation? You like you said, we did it. So this is where I was wrong. We did it wrong. And then you went back and you said, well, we didn't do anything wrong, and that's the truth. You didn't do anything wrong. Nobody ever knows. That's why they're tragedies. If everyone knew things were going to happen when they would happen, it wouldn't be a tragedy. It would just be that's what happened. We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Do you feel yourself? I'd say, if you don't mind me asking, but you're an open book, and I know that you don't mind. Do you find yourself wanting to be shut off from others, like the other students, or are you forced into it, do you think, with being kind of closed off to that emotional connection, maybe?
I think I'm more forced into it. And a lot of it, too, has to do with the age of our kids now. This was 7 years ago now, just about eight years ago. So, I mean, our youngest was 3, doesn't remember him. And so now we have a 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 9-year-old we have to think about. And so I coach football, for example, and one of our players was going through it last year. And I came home and I said, Joe, could we bring this kid home? And then the conversation is, no, we can't, because we have 3 kids of our own we need to worry about right now. Yeah. And we are not equipped to do what's best for them and for a student. As much as they are great and they need help, we just can't right now. And so I think seeing how that played out and how it could affect the rest of us. Yeah. It's forced us to be different, perhaps, with how we deal with things.
So what advice would you give if somebody found themselves in a situation like that, where it's like, I don't have the resources to be the person firsthand that helps you? Yeah. What would you do in a situation like that? What can somebody else do to try to make a difference for someone?
Just keep finding the resources. And this is where his story is very frustrating, because at one point my husband took him to the hospital and was like, you have to keep him. He needs help. He agreed to stay. 2 days out, as per our mental health guidelines, he was let out, because even though he had a plan, he didn't have access to a plan. And so it is an issue across our country. I'm sure maybe across your country, where there aren't necessarily supports available, or long-term supports. People can't access them, whether they can't afford them, whether there just isn't the help there. And so he was sent out, and there were people that knew how badly he was struggling. So we tried, but just keep going. If you don't get the answer you want, you just keep pushing and fighting until you find the care they need where they need it.
Yeah. And that's interesting. And I mean, we could do another 10 episode series on not only mental health, but you mentioned like, how is it in the States right up here? This is how it is. And down here, it's no different. Right. So I think in this country, like you're led to believe that everywhere else they've got this great healthcare. And yeah, I mean, listen, there's going to be places that offer things that we don't. We're going to maybe have things that others don't, and so on. But the assumption that you get everything you need outside of the United States that hurts a little bit to hear, right? Because you want to believe that something out there is great. But I think all countries at some point fail their citizens in some way. It's really sad when it's a kid. It doesn't matter. It's sad when you don't have the resources to care for people, and like even something like an extra day and a counselor could have made all the difference. So you don't know. But it's just, there's always got to be a way to have a conversation with somebody or just something. And I think that's probably where we all struggle, is just like, what is the right thing to do? Yeah. How much is enough? How much is too much? Am I overstepping? So if you figure that stuff out, you let me know, because me and you will change the world.
Well, I'd love to, but legally too, we were at a disadvantage because we weren't his caretakers. And even though he was 21, we still weren't his next of kin. So it's really interesting, because after someone dies, like, they'll come looking for money for sure. But you tried to get answers, help, or any kind of assistance. You're not, if you're not next of kin. And so, for example, it was, well, I need a ride home. They're kicking me out. What's going on? Where would you suggest we go for more help? Well, we can't disclose health practices. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a situation which, if I'm looking at the glass half full, taught me a lot, made me a better mom and a better teacher, and I am more understanding going forward. I will do things differently. Yeah, and then
to compliment you, because I do feel that this is true. I feel like, knowing you for this short period of time, that you were joy in that person's life, and that the world is a better place with people like you. It's a really we need more people that care. We need more people that are willing to help and open their homes to people and just smile. A smile holding a door can do so much for somebody. It's just like these little things that we are all so closed off to. And that's why I tell my kids, our role in the house is be loving and be kind, and don't judge people, and don't hate, and don't tease, and don't bully. I don't know. It's sad. And I'm sorry that you had to deal with that, but again, it's one of those, such as life, and we all learn from that, because we don't get to choose the things that we're hit with on a daily, weekly, yearly basis. This shit just comes up, and it's rough. So, sorry that you had to deal with that. Yeah.
You know what? I would do it all over again, because he taught me a lot of lessons, and I did. I loved him. He was great. We still joke about things. Like, he used to, and he was no joker about it. He'd be like, yeah, I got high. We're like, fine. And he taught my husband how to cook a steak. He goes, I used to get high and watch Gordon Ramsay all the time, because what else do you do? And so he's like, you got to cook it low and slow. Low and slow. And so again, you're like, where do you find humor now? When John is cooking a steak, he'll be like, low and slow. And I'm like,
low and slow. Well, that's slow. When you stop doing that, that's when I think, how do I say this? That's what keeps a memory alive. The second you stop talking about people, I don't think you don't die until you're spoken for the last time. You can keep somebody alive for as long as you want to tell stories about them. And that's a funny one. Like, for me, it's like, I'll even sit here and say low and slow. And, now I'll probably get high and watch Gordon Ramsay, but it's like that. It's that just a chuckle, just a laugh is all, all you want. And if I died today and people could tell stories about me and laugh, that's all I'd ever want. It's just somebody to, it sounds cliche, but I don't want you to be sad. I want you to laugh. And I think that you're doing that guy a solid by sharing that little story, just low and slow.
Yeah, low and slow.
Low and slow. I'm gonna now I want to cook a steak, so thank you very much. Would you say this or that? It was kind of leads into my next question. I don't know if it's the right question, but that was probably a very difficult chapter to write. But you, such as life, you've got a lot to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a lot of things that we wish had never happened to us, but the fact is they did. Does that chapter or another, is there something that kind of jumps out as where you were really like, this is me kind of opening my heart up to the readers?
That one was actually probably the easiest because it was most therapeutic, like to finally put all of those thoughts down on paper. Because this is the sad part. When he passed, afterwards, it was like, we will not talk about him in school. We will pretend it did not exist because he's 2 years out of school. And now we don't want anyone to catch the suicide, right? Like, and
like,
so,
it's a disease that's passed on.
like it's a disease. And, people in town are like, well, just move on. And so I really felt like there was not a lot of opportunity beside, like the people in my household and my family to talk about it with. So it was really easy to write that one. The hardest one was probably the postpartum, because it's really difficult to look at your shortcomings as a mom and the place you were in and how disjointed the relationship was with my daughter. And, the things I did, I talk about having to go outside and I would sit there and drink a beer and smoke. Because at that time I picked up smoking again after she was born. Because I'm like, oh my God, like I am losing it. Yeah. And, because I was like, if I take her out of her crib right now, I'm going to shake her. And you're like, how it was hard to write those kinds of things, but I didn't know what else to do. And so going through that chapter was also therapeutic in the sense that I'm like, it's fair to finally say this, but it was hard to write.
Yeah. So one of these moments that I'll share with you, because you just said those exact words about the shaking part, is I think we all do. We meet people that are going to be having a baby for the first time throughout our life. And I tell new parents two things. One is buy a diaper genie.
Yes. Oh my God.
Buy a diaper genie. They're amazing. And you don't have to smell shit. And you can load this little tube of shit up.
So full.
And you never smell it once. And then I say the following: don't beat yourself up when you think about shaking a baby. And I say, I know you won't act on it. Don't take this the wrong way. But you will hit a point where you understand. Still wrong, still not good, still deserve prison and all that shit. I'm just not making light of that.
Yeah.
But when you do not have sleep and you do not have hormones in the right places, and you are a fucking psycho, because let's call it, we are all psychotic when a baby is first born. We don't know what way is up. And if you are light on sleep, you just, and you said your baby was colic. That's that breaks people. That fucking breaks people. And it's like, it creeps in there. And it's like, don't look down. And then what are you fucking doing? You're looking down. It's like this weird moment of thinking about it, understanding why it happens, and then fucking hating yourself for that thought creeping into your head. And I always tell people, don't hate yourself when things creep into your head, because a lot of shit's different the second you have that baby. You're never going to experience love the way you've experienced love. You're going to have a whole new set of emotions you didn't know exist, a whole new set of things that you never thought were possible. And some of that shit's dark, like with like that topic right there. And I've said that. Sure. And, I've heard people like, why do you say that? I'm like, because it's fucking real. And because when somebody feels that way, that's an unforgivable thought. If you don't realize that it can be normal, all you're doing is acknowledging that it happens and saying, I can see how a crying baby for fucking 14 straight hours can break you. It's like a form of torture.
It is.
It's actually, it's not a form. It is 100% the fucking worst. And so those are my pieces of advice. Those are my pieces of advice. And people were like, you're sick. I was like, I'm not fucking sick. That's real shit. So
that's the stuff you need to hear. All those people that are like, sleep when the baby's sleeping or enjoy every minute because they go so fast. No, you need to tell me those kinds of things, which are some days you're going to look at it and go, I cannot believe that I'm supposed to love you right now. Or I don't feel like you're mine. Like that's what the advice I wish I had were. Yeah. Or you know what? One day you will feel better and you'll actually like miss this.
Yeah.
But it will come. My husband said exactly what you said about 6 months after when we're through this and, you know, now we're gooing and guying and so in love.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know, there are parts where I understood it. And I'm like, yes, I understand why someone gets there. Again, like you, do you condone it? Absolutely not.
No.
Full extent of the legal process should be thrown that way.
Yeah.
But we get how it could happen.
Yeah. And it's, there's a lot of things. I mean, we can turn on the news any day and see awful fucking things. It's like when you go like, well, that person shot somebody. Well, sorry, you don't have that problem in Canada. But like you turn on the news and somebody gets shot. Let's not act like we don't understand how something like that can happen.
Yes.
Yeah. You can think of a million reasons why that act can happen. Do you do it? No, but we get it. We understand. Yeah, no, fuck that. I like you. I like your honesty.
Oh, I like you too.
Yeah, there we go. We just became best friends. I the humor aspect is, I don't know how to deal with messed up shit. I don't think I ever did. And so I laugh and I try to find humor in dark stuff. I've talked about that a lot on this podcast, and people think I'm sick. It's a coping mechanism. And I don't know why I'm wired that way, but it is. Like, is that how you would describe humor to you when we talk about humorous things in your book? And I know there's funny things in the book, but is there, like, do you find yourself like that?
Absolutely. And I mean, my brother is very much the same way. You know him. He'll say wild stuff, and I think that's often to maybe hide some of those feelings. He's a big soft teddy bear. He doesn't want
I know he is.
Know.
Yeah,
but he says very like offside things sometimes, and you're like, you just need a hug. It's okay.
He is a huggable son of a bitch.
He is. He's a jolly little fellow. But we come by it honestly. Like my grandpa on his deathbed, I remember him sitting there and I'm like, oh, sorry, grandpa. Like I'm breastfeeding and I know that's uncomfortable for you. And he's like, I'm blind. Can't see nothing anyways. Like, you know, he's sitting there laughing about like the frilly undergarments they give him because he no longer has control of his body. And he's like, I waited this long to be able to dress in like women's garments and like just funny shit that you're like, you're dying right now and you are still laughing at life because this is the position we're in. And so he's that way. That is how my husband and I have always dealt with everything because there is no other option. You gotta laugh at it. Yeah.
Because you're going to have a lifetime full of disappointments and hurt and pain. And if you can't laugh about it, I just told this story the other day and it wasn't anything much, but I was talking about my grandma. My grandma passed away a few years ago. And, you know, it wasn't a situation where I knew she was going to die, but I could say that looking back, one of the last conversations that I had with her, I said, you're looking good, Grandma. You don't look a day over 118. And I remember her going, you son of a bitch. Like she just you could see her trying to work through to say, did you really just say that to me, you prick? And it was so funny because we used to just trash each other. We had so much fun. And like looking back on it, knowing that that was one of the last things I said to one of the people I love the most in the world. Yeah. And I wouldn't change that statement because I know it made her laugh. And that was just our thing. We were very open with each other about death. We always talked about it. I remember it was a friend's dad's funeral and she showed up and I said she showed up like she came with us because she knew the guy and she said, don't do this for me. Don't do this when I go. Just laugh and tell some good stories. And I that really helped me when her time came to where I was like, well, this is what she wanted because she said it. She said these words to me and I just told everyone that. And it was like, this is what she wanted. And I know it's sad and it can be sad and it can be both. But just to be able to laugh or find find just humor in something that isn't funny is just, it's a good thing. And I wish more of us did it and didn't judge people for saying, kind of dark stuff every once in a while.
Yeah.
When, again, it can be helpful. So,
Oh, I know. My grandma suffered from dementia, and I mean, it's one of those where some of the things that she said and did were funny, not really funny, but you know what? I might as well laugh at it because the possibility is one day I'm going to have dementia, and so we might as well giggle at these things because that may very well be my future, and that's pretty sad to think about. So you might as well laugh at it.
Could be any one of us. Absolutely.
And people are miserable. Like if they're not laughing at life, they're just grumpy little grumplestiltskins. And you're like, what is the point in you right now? Stop it.
Yeah, I laugh way too fucking much. And I do. I try to find humor in every single thing possible. The darkest shit. I have said before, I think I was telling 9/11 jokes on the 12th. And it's sick. Yeah, there, I got you on that one. Yeah. It's sick. But I was like, how do you process that? You can't process things that horrible. You can't see these things. And I don't think it was the 12th. I think it was the 13th, but you get my point.
Yeah.
You have to kind of push through the dark and there's light somewhere. And if a really off color shitty joke gets you there, then so be it. If I'll be judged by that, then I'm okay with that.
I laughed super inappropriately. My friend was scattering her mom's ashes and she tells me about this. She was out there and a gust of wind come up all of a sudden and she goes, oh my God, my mom's ashes were all over my feet. Like I'm in flip-flops. I literally went home and washed my mom down the drain. And I laughed and she was sort of like, and I'm like, well, that shit is
funny. You not laugh at that?
Funny, not funny, but
you told me that shit. You know what I mean? Like you can't expect me to not laugh at that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. What would you... So big move. City girl will call you, 160,000. Mm-hmm. That's massive. That's like New York City, right?
Yeah.
You moved to Liberty. What piece of advice would you go back and give yourself?
To just jump in and do it. Don't be scared. Embrace it. I think for a long time, probably the first 1.5 to 2 years that we were here, because I thought it was going to be an exit strategy, I didn't really connect with people. I didn't form a lot of relationships because it was just a stepping stone for me. And then once I realized I loved it here, we're going to do this, we go all in, everything changed. It became home. It became this community we needed really quickly. We bought the farm. Everything turned around. And so whatever change it might be, whether you're going big to small, rural to urban, country to country, just do it and embrace it. And
I love it.
See what happens, because you can always leave.
You can always leave. You can always
change your circumstances.
Back. Yes. Control the things you can control, and I think we can control finding happiness in something and jumping. I'm a big fan of all emotions are healthy. And that's crying. Yeah. That's being scared shitless. I hate heights. Boy, you get me on a roller coaster, I'm scared to death going up that hill. But when I get off that thing, it's like I feel like somebody charged a battery. It's just like it's such an exhilarating rush. So it's like use all the emotions we get and just sometimes just jump in. So
I used to love rides, and then my husband looked at me once and said, you realize a kid you would have failed in class put this shit together. And I'm like, oh my God. And I just see all those kids and I'm like, I am never riding on that again. You ruined it.
I wouldn't do those ones at the little fairs. Fuck that, where it's like some guy pulls up and sets up a Ferris wheel in 28 minutes and you're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. It was one of those.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing one of those either. Oh, and I think you mentioned you're working on something else. Is that top secret stuff right now?
No, I've entered a few short story writing contests. I am writing a weekly Substack to try and gain followers, and it's everything from this funny thing happened on the farm this week to these are my philosophical ramblings about fall to, I mean, those are all very short articles about life up here. So there's that. Folk is the Substack. And then I'm working on a new novel. It's fiction. I don't know how it's going to go. We're throwing our hand in it, and it's okay so far, I think.
Good. I love it. Well, you can always go back and fix it, right? Until it's out, then you can't. There you go.
And then you can't take it back once it's out there in the world.
Yeah, it's constantly evolving. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I have really, truly appreciated you coming on. It's been really fun talking with you, and super excited to have people check your book out, myself being one of them. Do us a favor. Tell everybody where they can find you at, socials, where to get your book, anything else that you want to mention, how to get in touch with you, stay in touch with you. Please, Lenore, the floor is yours.
It is Small Town Chaos Lessons on Country Living. It's available at Barnes & Noble in the States and Amazon, both ebooks and paperback copies. And it's available on Indigo in Canada if you listen up there. And you can find me at www.lfocht.com. And Focht is spelled Focht. That is the kicker there, not like normal. And I'm also on Instagram, X, right? X.
Yeah, I think it's X now.
Yes.
And we will, just so you hear me, I will grab all of these and we will put links in the show so you can just click on it and check it out. But yeah, definitely check the book out.
Yeah. And Facebook,
anything
of
else?
Course.
And Facebook, yeah. That's the old person thing now, right?
It is the old person thing, but part of my demographics is old. So
there you go. Fucking bunch of boomers. I hate that word so bad.
Me too.
It's more
my
than
kid's
anybody.
on this new platform right now, and she goes, I can't even remember what it's called. And I said, like, could I go on it? And she's like, no, it's for young people. I'm like, oh, ouch.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Is it that Blue Sky?
Nope.
No, there's everything that comes out is for new young people.
Yeah. And I'm like, this sounds just like Instagram. Nope.
Yeah, it's literally the same shit rebranded. We're the idiots that keep buying into it.
Yes.
I'm going to open a MySpace account. Is that still a thing?
I think so, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, God.
And they're so
tell me it's
judgy
not.
about it all. And I'm like, right now you're playing a stupid game with blocks, like Tetris. We are the original Tetris.
Yeah,
what
Roblox.
are you people doing?
Shit.
Yes, I know. God,
I love it.
I hate young people. No, I'm kidding. I don't. I really like you.
No, you know what? I don't like any of you. There, take that. I don't care. I'll say it for you. Speak my mind.
Perfect.
Well, listen, like I said, we'll put everything in the show notes, and please check her book out. I can't wait to read it. It's going to be awesome. You are amazing. You've been one of my favorite guests. It's been great to talk with you. Thanks for being open. I think that's what always makes these conversations fun. So, it's been a blast, and cheers to you, and thanks again.
Thank you. Same to you.
All right, everybody. We'll talk soon.